Hi everyone, and welcome to Weeding Secret. Today we're making another loaf of soap, and this is the pink that we had yesterday for the last soap that I did, the Queen of Hearts. Obviously I put a lid on that, so we will reuse that today. We're going to do the Blue Violet from TBK Trading, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous hyacinthy blue. I don't think they carry it anymore, but maybe I'll be able to find one that's similar somewhere, and I'll put that as a link in the description box below. It's quite pigmented, and I think it's got a lot of ultramarine blue in, because it's very similar. It's almost like ultramarine blue with some purple in it, so you could probably mix some up yourself if you wanted to recreate this colour. Again, we're going for gorgeous pastels today. And we're going to do pastel blue, pastel pink and cream. Okay, so I've split the soap batter into 4 containers. This one is going to be, if you watch the last video, I'm going to be trying something similar to that, but with a jug, a long spouted jug. The blue and the pink we don't need as much soap batter of, because I'm going to be pouring some of the natural in with that, and then the white on the top will just, well, cream or natural will be on the top and nothing else will be poured into there. So I've actually put 1.8 kilos of soap batter in that one. I've put 400 in this one, and I've got 1400 in both of these. And this is, there's going to be, one of them is going to be my pink and the other's going to be my blue. And don't forget everyone, I'm keeping an eye on how many comments everybody writes on my latest videos, on my last 10 videos. And whoever does place the most comments will win £30 worth of stock from me. And I'm going to do that for the foreseeable future every quarter. So every 3 months I'll pick a winner. I can't afford to do it every month, but I can afford to do it every few months, because the likelihood is whoever wins is going to be overseas, and shipping always costs more when you're sending overseas. So that's why I've decided to do it every quarter. So I would say put about 8 mils of colour in there to get the desired depth. And then we're going to go with the blue in this one. I'm just going to start off with a few drops at first. So there's 1 mil. Now I've put another 2 mils in, so that's 3 mils altogether. Remember, the colour is mixed with olive oil. That's 6 mils. No, 5. Yeah, 5 mils. Feeling like I should stop there, but don't know what it is with me. I always feel like I've got to put a bit extra in. Are you like that? Let me know in the comments if you tend to do that. Right, so I still feel like I need a bit more. I'm not going to do it, just leave it, because I'm so determined that I want all these colours to be pastel for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to swap what I've got in here into this long spouted container. You haven't seen me use these long spouted containers. I'm not that keen on them. One of the big reasons is they don't hold very much soap. If you could get like a 2 kilo one or a 3 kilo, that would be much better. The other thing is, when you're pouring, you actually get used to where a spout is, and the soap takes longer to get from there down to the end of this spout on this one than it does to get down to the spout on this one. It's just silly little things like that that make all the difference. Now I've got a little bit of a dilemma here. The dilemma being that this, actually I could just split that in two and that would stop the dilemma. The dilemma was going to be that I've got this blue, which will be the first layer, and that'll have some of this mixed in it. The pink, which is the second layer, that will also have some of that mixed in with it. And I was thinking, if I put the fragrance in this one now at the same time as the blue, by the time I get to pouring the pink, that'll be too thick for the pink. So, quite simple, Karen. Just put some of that back in here. So put 200 mils in there. And that should leave me 200 mils in this container. Yeah. Right. I don't know why, but no, they're both exactly the same. One of them looks like it's got more in the jug than the other, but it hasn't. Right, so we'll go with the blue first, and I'm actually going to use Pomegranate Noir today. It's very, it doesn't discolour, it's from Graceroot. It does have a bit of acceleration with it, which I would call medium acceleration. So I'm just going to pop the fragrance in there, and then we'll be back when it's time to pour. Right, now time for the pink. So the nearest I can find on the TKB trading to this blue is actually Blue Ribbon. I think that might be the same colour, just they've renamed it. So pouring this gorgeous glorified pink here that I am absolutely in love with. You're probably sick of hearing me say that. I'm sorry. Right, well, let's get some white in there. So yeah, that's the reason I don't use these jugs, because my batches are always 5 kilos, and just a kilo of any one colour isn't enough. We're going to do a tap down, so I'll just warn you that the camera's going to jump. I know when I'm watching it, when I'm editing it and I do that, it makes my eyes go a little bit funny. So I think it's best I warn you that I'm going to do it in the future, if I remember. Okay, so I'm going to put this in on the back of the spoon. And then I think what I'll probably do with this soap is I'll just leave it to set overnight. I'll cut it and then I'll probably pipe on top of each slice, because I want to decorate the slices somewhat, but I want to get the decorations in exactly the right place. And that's the only way I think I'll be able to do it, instead of trying to guess where they go with these lines. So someone had pulled me up the other day in a comment and said, how are we supposed to learn anything if you won't answer our questions? So I had a look right back through a lot of the older comments and I couldn't find anything else from that person. I'm not saying it's not there, it probably is there, I just somehow I haven't seen it. So if just in case you're that person that wrote that, it's always best to ask me a question on a recent video, because I've got 1,000 videos and I can't check every single video for comments and questions. And that's not saying I'll be able to answer every single question, because I won't be able to, but I do my best. There we are, nice and level. So we're just going to leave that overnight and we'll be cutting it in about 18 hours. 18 hours it will be for me, but for you it'll just be 1 second. So it's looking a bit plain at the moment, definitely, but once we get a bit of decoration on the top, it'll be really pretty. So at least I know now that if I want to show the ivory decoration in among the colours, as someone kindly suggested in a comment, I just need to let it thicken up a bit. Okay, so that's the flowers ready to pop on the top, just in exactly the same colours that we've got. I thought I'd maybe left this batter too long and it was going to be too thick to pipe. I've become a bit of a coffee addict. I've never been a coffee drinker, I've always been a tea drinker. And where was I? Oh, when my niece had twins before Christmas, and we went round to theirs to see the twins, and she made me a coffee and I went, oh, that was absolutely delicious. So that was it. I'm now addicted. There's always something I'm addicted to, me. It's usually food. It's been things from, like, the first thing I remember being addicted to was tinned grapefruit from Aldi. But they don't do that grapefruit anymore. I've been addicted to those pink and white marshmallow things. They're called pink and whites. I've been addicted to those, and I would eat those every day. When I say I'm addicted, I mean it's something I have every day and like can't live without, basically. But it doesn't happen forever. There can be, I'll end up tasting something else and think, no, I love that. And you'll notice, like, the first few are usually more or less healthy. I know the pink and whites are not that healthy, but there's no fat in them. And then I went on to fruit salad. Then I went on to like cereal bar, not cereal bars, health food bars with an apple. So I would have this would be what I ate every day, and I was nice and slim then when I was doing this, but I guess I should be, because I was hardly eating anything really. I would be eating health food bars and an apple. I'd have one of each for breakfast, one of each for my dinner, one of each for tea, or we call it supper here. And what was after? I can't remember what came next, but can't remember what came next after that. But then I started eating things that I really shouldn't be eating, and I got addicted to. And the reason I put stacks of weight on, because this is absolutely lethal. Ben & Jerry's brought out a range of ice cream. I've never been an ice cream lover, but when they started doing the core range, they brought out a peanut butter pieces, and it had like a strawberry centre right down the middle. Absolutely lethal. I started having like a couple of spoonfuls at breakfast time, a couple of spoonfuls at dinner time, a couple of spoonfuls at night time, to where I ended up all I was eating was Ben & Jerry's peanut butter core ice cream. That's all I ate every day. And honestly, I put stones and stones of weight on doing that. So ice cream for me is lethal. They stopped doing the peanut butter core, so I had to find something else to get addicted to. And I like the strawberry magnums, the strawberry ice cream with the white chocolate coating. That was lovely. So of course when you bought some of them, if you were out and about, there was always like 3 in a packet, so I would eat 3 of them because they're gonna defrost unless you could get them home and into your freezer. But it was usually when I was out working then, so I would eat 3 of them. By this time I'd already put stacks of weight on. Then they stopped making them, and so I actually just started on ice pops for a while. So ice pops are not so bad, but I didn't lose any weight because I don't know, I think it was when I had my gallbladder out, I started where I couldn't lose weight at all. Not without fasting. I had to fast to actually lose weight. And then I did that, remember when I had the shop, I did that lighter life diet, and I did very well with that. I wish I was as slim as I was then. So right up to the present day, there have been other fads, addictions like Maltesers. I would have Maltesers in my bed. So we've gone from the lovely healthy options, the fruit, the grapefruit, the health food bars. Now we're at the other end of the scale where I think I'm addicted to chocolate. So I started eating Maltesers, and I would put them in my drawer by the bed. So I would go to bed each night and put the iPad on and start eating Maltesers. Then I tasted white Toblerone. So that was the last chocolate addiction I had, and I did actually stop them all. And so here we are, when I went to my niece's to see her twins, her and Mattie's twins, Paige and Mattie, and they've got twins, a boy and a girl, Bodie and Blossom. The Bodie is the boy and Blossom is the girl, and she made me this lovely frothy coffee in this machine she had, and that was it. I was like, oh God, I really enjoyed that. And normally, if anyone offered me a coffee or anything, I would usually just say, no thanks, I don't want it. So, hence I started my coffee addiction. So, let's start putting these pretty flowers on here, shall we? So, I'm thinking a blue at this end. Now you'll notice when I was piping the colours on here, when I was painting the mica on these, I didn't put any mica on the back, and that's because if you do put mica on the back, it can pop off the soap easy. I mean, look how pretty that is now. That just makes that bar, doesn't it? It's so much nicer than it was just plain. So let's do all of them, shall we? And while we do all of them, I want to talk about a show on Netflix that I think is absolutely brilliant. Are there any shows on Netflix that you watch that you think are marvellous? Let me know, because I'm always looking for something new to watch. And the show I absolutely adore is Ozark. I think it's brilliant. The last season is coming up. Well, the last season's already aired, but it was like a part 1. So there's a part 1 and a part 2. Only 4 seasons, but season 4 is like going to be in 2 parts. I just think it's been so excellent. The girl that plays Ruth is my favourite. She's absolutely brilliant character. And there's a new programme with her on Netflix, and I started watching it yesterday, but I don't know, she's so good at the Ruth character in Ozark. I think it's going to be hard for her to beat that character in some other programme. Now obviously, in a way, she really is a baddie, what we would consider a baddie in real life, but there's something about her that I'm sure everybody feels the same. We all just love her, and I'm hoping that what happens, because it's the final season, you know, sometimes these shows go on and the seasons go on far too many, and the last couple of seasons you start thinking, oh, this should have finished with season 8 instead of going 10 full seasons, because it ends up just being the same old over and over again. And you think, oh, it's just, you end up like wishing it would end. So doing it this way with Ozark, we're going to be left still wanting more. And I know it started, the beginning of season 4 started with this car crash that they were in, that the family were in. So I think they're trying to make you think that the ending is going to be the car crash, and that's how they get wiped out. But I don't think they would give it away so much. But what I do hope is that Ruth ends up going off, riding into the sunset, like a typical rom story. She gets the cream, she gets all the money to take with her, and she lives happily ever after. The rest, I sort of don't care what happens to them. But as I say, in real life, you would never root for someone like Ruth. I mean, she's a criminal. You never want the criminals to win, do you? But if you watch Ozark, let me know who's your favourite character. I mean, absolutely brilliantly written. Jason Bateman, I have seen him in films and that before, but he never registered with me at all until I started watching Ozark. I haven't seen him in that many things before Ozark, mind. I think I saw him in a rom-com with Jennifer Aniston, so that's where I remember him from and where I first saw him. But again, with him, it's like you would always expect him to be a goody two-shoes, and in a way, in this show, he still is that. But this twisted edge that they've all got going on, like his wife, you can tell she secretly loves all the power and everything that goes along with living this criminal lifestyle. And I think the other thing that's good about Ozark is it's a type of story I've never seen before, so it's fresh and new to me. I love this soap. I think it's absolutely magical. Oops. Definitely putting the mica on the flowers makes a heck of a difference as well, doesn't it? It just really pretties them up and neatens them up too. So I'm glad I thought of that. So yeah, don't put the mica on the back of the flower because you'll end up with a powdery layer all over the back, which then stops it sticking to the soap that's underneath. It's just incredible, the difference, isn't it? Just gone from looking so plain to piping that on the top and putting those flowers on. It's just so incredibly pretty. So I hope you're liking this new pastel kind of Karen here at the Eden Secret. So as we said, we're going to continue with this as we go along, and I'll see you all very soon for another video from Eden's Secret. Before I go, I just want to remind you that I have got an ongoing competition for the foreseeable future, and it's whoever writes the most comments on my videos from now until 3 months from now, probably 2 months actually, because I've already give one away. Whoever is to be my biggest fan. I don't like using the word fan, but it's the only way I can describe it so you know what I'm talking about. So whoever puts the most comments on the videos, and you can win more than once, you know, you can be number one each time. Yeah, whoever writes the most comments on my last 10 videos. So always keep it as recent as possible. Don't go back and put comments on my old videos because I probably won't see them, and I've got 1,000 videos, so yeah, I'll only be keeping an eye on, say, the last 10. So yeah, get those comments in, and if it comes down to a joint winner, what I'll do is I'll see whose comment was put there first. So whoever's the quickest with getting the comments on the video will win the prize of £30 worth of stock from me. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, I'll send it to you. Alright, bye bye for now.